Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport, onelittlepootyfan.com.au and the Stubby Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Dan, great weekend of footy.
Great weekend of football. Some results we didn't see coming, some that we definitely saw coming.
Yeah, and some breaking news.
Hot off the...
Because we were about to break it, let's be fair. We were going to break it today.
We're first. We're recorded though, but we're first.
Yeah, we were going to break it today anyway. Cameron Toreldo has finally been announced as the Bulldogs coach for the next 5 years. Now,
5 years, Terry.
We'll quickly dive into this now. Out of all the options that he had available, the Bulldogs was the best.
Undoubtedly.
Yep.
The Tigers are going backwards, as was confirmed earlier yesterday afternoon. Newcastle are terrible and the Gold Coast aren't much chop. I think the Dogs was the opportunity. He took it, he waited, he bided his time. Has he picked the right team? For mine, yes.
I think he has as well. The only other team that I would have thought that he potentially could have gone to were Newcastle, but they seem very invested in Adam O'Brien, whether that's going to be the right call or not. But, you know, the former Knight, he'd played up there, lived up there.
Lots of grand finals.
Yeah, knew the area, knew the system. So I think the Dogs is the right choice. Look, he gets to work under Gus, right? Now, fair enough, people might turn around and go, but you've got to put up with Gus. Yeah, but Gus is brilliant.
Gus is brilliant. Gus and his 5-year plans.
I think 5 years is too long, though.
I'm going to leave this to you.
Yeah, 5 years for a rookie coach is too long. I mean, you can give him a 3-year deal. And then you have a handshake. With 3 years, if it goes well, you get another 2. Did
the Bulldogs, though, have that right? Or did Toreldo say, this is what I want, take it or leave it?
Well, I think it comes back to the Tigers. I think it comes back to the Tigers offering them 5-year deal, and that potentially could have turned his head. So
that's a very good point.
You know, if the Dogs don't stump up the 5 years, he could have gone to the Tigers. You know, you get that 5 years of income, regardless whether you get sacked or not.
Toreldo could have sat for a couple of years and waited for Bellamy to retire and taken over Melbourne or something. He's highly regarded. But I've seen, as early as yesterday, by the time this goes out, Bulldogs fans saying, well, our future's sorted, our future's sorted. You saw what Fitzgibbon did for Cronulla. With all due respect to the Bulldogs, they don't have the foundations that Cronulla had. Now, we did last year come off a terrible year. So everything just broke down and we said, 2021, who cares? It's all about moving forward. Fitzgibbon came in, and again, Toreldo's had a very good apprenticeship. I don't know if it's quite what Fitzgibbon had. He hasn't got the city country games, etc. And he hasn't sat next to the New South Wales coaches for years either. But Cronulla had the juniors coming through. We had the squad ready. The Bulldogs have some incredible players coming through. Gus Gould has been told, let's make him like Penrith. He's taken that a little too literal with Kikau and now Toreldo coming in. That's okay, though. It's a good team to model yourself off. But 5 years.
Yeah, I think it's... Again, as I said, in rugby league's built on handshake deals. You can turn around and go, here's a 3-year deal, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And if it does, you've got another 2 years locked in. So
will it work out?
I think so. I think it'll work out. I think, very rarely when you hear about a new coach coming through, do they get it wrong? Okay? They didn't get it wrong about Bellamy. They didn't get it wrong about Fitzgibbon. They won't get it wrong about, well, the Lurker did. But they won't get it wrong about Toreldo. You didn't hear much about Adam O'Brien, like when the Roosters won all their premierships or the Storm won all the premierships, they didn't dedicate it to him, So, I think it's a good call. I just think the length of time is too much. The other thing as well that the Dogs really need to do now is go and get a halfback.
Absolutely so. That's the missing piece.
That is the missing piece. Now, we've got some more breaking news. Our good friend Benny is on the spot.
The best in the business, Benny.
The Tigers Centre of Excellence has been announced. What do you got for us, Benny?
Hey guys, here I am, as you can see, in the photo I just sent through on the West Tigers Centre of Excellence. And as clearly comes through on the image, it's very much state of the art.
$78 million.
It's a shed with some TVs in it. And this is what's going to turn the club from the club that will come last now, that's confirmed when you look at the fixtures, into a superpower. Give me a break.
Well, I mean, it's a gym with a meeting room.
Mate,
hire out an F45.
I'm loath to bag the Tigers. You'll never catch me bagging the Tigers. But this right here is not the answer. It is a gym.
Now, let's get into the footy.
It's a gym, Terry.
Yeah, it is. The Canberra Raiders had some bad karma in round 16. Reverse karma. It's come back to the Dragons. Very funny.
Natural justice at its finest.
Natural justice.
It was fun logging into Twitter today when it happened because I thought it was a penalty. You didn't, which is fair. That's why they called it a 50-50 call. Could go one of two ways. Dragons fans were like, damn it.
Here's why I don't think it was a penalty. There was 3 seconds left on the clock, and your average play the ball speed is about 3.5 seconds. A good play the ball is about 3.1. So 3 seconds left on the clock. I think Canberra had every right to do that. It would have been very Sutton-esque to blow a penalty, and I wish he did.
Would have been hilarious.
But it's even funnier that has ended the Dragons season.
Yeah, it is funny, which is ultimately what we're all about when it doesn't involve the Sharks. We want laughs over correct decisions. I feel the push could have warranted a penalty in a sin bin, but if the Ben Hunt one didn't all those weeks ago, neither did this. Consistency is all we ask for.
Now, we've got a race for the top 8. There's only Canberra can get back in. The Roosters, they need the Roosters to lose 2 games. Now, the Roosters have Melbourne away and the Rabbitohs
Don't care.
in the final round. Canberra need to be perfect. They nearly slipped up against the Dragons. But we have a race now for the wooden spoon.
That's it. The race, the one that all eyes are on. The Titans' big win yesterday, unexpected win.
First time in 11 weeks they tasted that sweet, sweet victory.
It feels like it too, judging by the Twitter comments. And good on them. They beat Manly, which is always fantastic. And
By 20.
We applaud any time Manly lose. But yeah, look, for weeks and weeks it looked fait accompli that the Titans were going to finish last, to the shock of everyone. But look, justice has once again been served. The Tigers sit in 16th place. Unfortunately, we're going to hear all about it, and we've been aggrieved by the NRL. They've come out and admitted the error. The Sharks should be second and the Titans should be last. That's not what rugby league gods have come up with, which is a royal shame.
Now, here's another question. Can the Titans and the Tigers win another game to make Newcastle last?
Yes, the Titans have a weak draw. The Tigers cannot win another game. I'm putting it out there right now. They will not win another game, which is a shame because if there's one team I like to see down the bottom, shout out to our good friends, the Newcastle fans, it is the Knights.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Knights win the spoon, but I think the Titans...
It's the Tigers. It is the Tigers. Yeah. Lock it in.
Now, the other race that's on, still alive, is the minor premiership race. Now, the Penrith Panthers, with all their injuries, they've got a tough draw. They play South this weekend. If the Cowboys and the Sharks win, we close that gap.
Do they start looking over their shoulders?
I think they should with the injuries that they've got now. Look, Dylan Edwards will be back. Is that enough?
Yes.
It should be.
Speaking of justice previously, those things were just. The Tigers losing and whatever else I was talking about. The Panthers not finishing first would be as unjust as it comes.
Yeah, absolutely it would. But, it would still be funny.
Which is, again, what we're all about. But the Sharks have entered the chat for the first time this season.
We have. We have entered the chat.
It's albeit a small chance.
There is a small chance.
Mathematically, we're still a chance.
The Panthers would have to lose every game by about 60 and we'd have to win every game by about 40, but...
Maths.
Stranger things have happened.
Maths say it can be done.
I've got a question for you, Dan.
Yes.
A very good question for you. Here we go. Is Cameron Munster the best fullback and 5'8" in the competition, and why is the answer yes?
He's right up there, I'll tell you. You throw the game's best 5'8", undisputed, into fullback and say, just do your best. And he says, okay, I'll do my best.
And my best is as good as Tedesco, as good as Turbo, Latrell.
Will Kennedy.
Yeah. Mate, the guy's a freak.
He's genius. You put him in the centres and he'd be in the top 3 or 4.
If this guy could just wake up every day and go, I am the best player in the world, he'd win the Dally M in a canter.
Yeah, he would be.
But Nico Hines will win it.
Yes, he will.
Dan.
Talk to me, Terry.
Time for some guests.
Some special guests.
Always. What do you got for us, Guru?
G'day boys, thanks for having me on once again. Round 22, done and dusted. You can see behind me the Gold Coast Titans, the Manly Seagulls. They went head-to-head this afternoon. Of course, the Titans coming up with the Chockies there. Now, I'm hearing over at the Manly Seagulls, believe it or not, I think Desi Hasler's under a little bit more pressure than what most people would assume. I'm hearing that not all is well over there at Manly as far as the administration, their relationship with Des, even their relationship with DCE. I think the jersey from a couple of weeks ago, I think it's caused some issues that are going to be pretty long-standing over there at the Manly Seagulls, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see someone fall over the next few weeks there, so keep an eye on that one. Cameron Toreldo yesterday was announced as the new head coach of the Canterbury Bulldogs for the next 5 years. A huge signing. I mean, 5 years is a long time for a guy that hasn't coached a game of first grade yet, but we know what contracts are worth in rugby league, so it will be interesting to see how this one plays out. I would never back against Phil Gould and his judgment, but it should be noted that the last time he took an assistant coach from the Penrith Panthers, it was Trent Barrett. Did not work overly well, but everyone is raving about Cameron Toreldo, so it will be interesting to see how it plays out. The question for me, though, who will he take from the Penrith Panthers? We've seen this, throughout the last few years at whatever club it is. When a coach leaves, they tend to take guys with them, especially an assistant coach. It's a pretty unique relationship you have with the players. You're obviously not the guy giving the sprays. You're normally the guy giving the compliments, the good news. You can tend to be slightly better mates with the players than what the head coach can be. You tend to be the more fun guy, essentially. So it'll be interesting to see who follows him. Stephen Crichton's a name that's been thrown up. I wouldn't be surprised to see Taruva potentially get an early release and join Cameron Toreldo over there. There's also a couple of forwards there, like your Matty Eisenhuth, these sort of guys who I'm sure they'll be more than happy to be at the club. Jamin Salmon's another one. But are they going to get an opportunity there to be a full-time player? I'm not convinced. So keep an eye on that one. A couple of Panthers to potentially follow Cameron Toreldo over to the Bulldogs. Already got Matt Burton there. He's going to have Viliami Kikau there next year as well. So there are a couple of signs there that you could see more guys appearing at the Canterbury Bulldogs from the Penrith Panthers. Keep an eye on that situation over the next couple of months.
Tell you what, I like it.
It's hard to argue. Mm-hmm. Now, Dan, our next guest, has done something amazing.
Yeah, I've heard some good things about what's coming up.
Let's just throw straight to Kate.
Cowboy Kate.
Hi Dan and Terry, hope you're both doing well. How about your Sharks? They're now on even points with my Cowboys on the ladder and coming home strong. Our for and against is holding up well and keeping us in second spot for now, but there is certainly going to be a big sprint home for the Cowboys, Sharks and Storm. Okay, so usually I'd give my time to the game that the Cowboys played in the round, but this week what I really wanted to do was use this time to reflect on the memory of Paul Greene, who of course we all know passed away suddenly on Thursday. How the boys managed to get themselves on the field for the game against the Roosters, I'm just not sure. How Todd has coped this week given his connection to Greene, I can't even imagine. We lost against the Roosters on Saturday and I can't say I was surprised. Yes, it was 2 premiership points up for grabs, but we lost. But the reality for the Cowboys is what they've lost over the last week was so much more valuable than 2 premiership points. And what we've all lost as a community is far, far more important than any game of footy could ever be. We can never replace what we've lost. We can never get it back. And the truth is, we'd give up all our points if we could somehow change what has happened. The emotional load the team, the club, former players, fans, and so many others have carried over the past few days has often been too much for words. JT was unable to perform his commentary duties when he found out. Channel 9 put him on a flight and sent him straight back home to be with family and friends. The loss people have felt has been immense. The social pages I'm a part of on Facebook, the North Queensland Cowboys Stampede and the South East Queensland Muster, have had an outpouring of grief from fans and supporters, many of whom had never met Greene, but whose loss they have felt very, very deeply. While most of our current team wasn't coached under Paul Greene, his legacy with the club can be felt everywhere. It lives within our current coach, Todd Payton, who of course was Greene's assistant coach when we won our first premiership in 2015. His legacy is in the hallways of the new Cowboys headquarters. It's in the bricks and the mortar of the Centre of Excellence and the beautiful new Queensland Country Bank Stadium that he helped us to get. Without Paul Greene, none of it happens. What he's given to the Cowboys is a benchmark of expectation and what they now know that they're capable of as a club. Under Paul Greene, there was no room for excuses, and his players rose to the challenges he set. He made them better players, and he brought all fans along for a great ride with him. What Greene did for our club as a coach, you can only ever do once. There is only ever one maiden premiership that can ever be won. And even if we win another 50, that win in 2015 will always be the first one, the one that's famously etched into our club's history. It was a moment in time Cowboys fans will never forget, and the iconic moments of Greene celebrating in the coach's box after Kyle Feldt scores on the full-time buzzer to send the game into golden point, and then of course when JT seals the win with his famous field goal, are moments that will live rent-free in the memories of Cowboys fans forever. The loss of Paul Greene will take a long, long time for people to understand and to come to terms with. It's a loss that the club and the community will feel for an eternity. When I asked my fellow Cowboy friends to send me their memories of our former coach, there were so many, and it made me very happy. While putting it together has been emotional, it was something I felt that as a Cowboys community we could enjoy, and it was something that could make us smile. Gone but never forgotten. This one's for you, Greene.
Look, brilliant stuff, Terry. I want to take a moment to shout out to all the fans that reached out to Kate. She did put something up on Twitter and Facebook saying anyone with, some photos of Greene or some memories, please send them through. As you saw, we were inundated with photos. Looks like the bloke touched so many lives.
Look, I mean, he did. My memories of Paul Greene, he was the halfback of the Sharks when I started supporting them.
Yeah, me too.
And you have all those the moments like the game against Manly in '95 when they were flogging everyone, and he turned up and just carved them to pieces, and it's incredible that he was there at our old boys' day, and then he's just
a week, days later. Obviously growing up, the Sharks halfback is your favourite player as a kid. It's just, so he's there or thereabouts. The photos of him in the old jersey just brought back a whole heap of memories.
Oh.
So as you said, they were the first games we went and saw live. So absolute tragedy, horrible stuff. The outpouring, the NRL community split 16 ways, soon to be 17. Nothing brings us together like, getting behind people that are in pain. So
and I think Channel 9, Fox Sports, they nailed it this week. I think the NRL nailed it with a minute's silence for every game. The crowds nailed it as well. Normally you get one or two yahoos, nothing.
Lots of respect. Australia-wide too.
Yeah.
I got to say, I did find something very, very positive this week. There was a script given to people, the ground announcers, to read out before the minute silence, and I thought it was perfect. He did inspire players. He was a coach, and for all the jokes of he overlooked Queensland, this and that. I mean, this bloke bled for every team he played for, especially the Cowboys. The moments celebrating the grand final win stick out even over the Cronulla moments. And he played for Queensland, played for Australia, won a Rothmans medal. the Dally M. The bloke did it all.
Yeah,
it's just.
It was absolutely incredible, and I guess the message that we want to say as well, to your mates, is it ain't weak to speak. It doesn't matter male, female.
Look, Terry and I are known to give each other grief in public. It's very different behind the scenes. I like to think I'm there for him and vice versa. It's difficult. It's not as simple as reach out, but please try if you can.
Talk to yourself. Dan,
talk to me, Terry.
It's time to talk some black, white, and blue.
Feeling good at this time of year. All but locked in a top 4 spot. Oh, that feels good to say.
Absolutely, it does. It would take a catastrophic collapse from Cronulla, and we've just got the run home that says it won't happen.
Well, you know what I want to say before we get into the meat and potatoes of this segment? People are going, the Sharks got an easy draw going in. We've beaten the teams that these other teams have to play.
Yeah.
Stop it.
You can only beat what's in front of you. It's not our fault that Canberra didn't beat St George.
No.
It's not our fault that teams decided to lose to the Tigers and the Knights and the Titans.
We've done everything right.
Yeah.
And every club wants to be us now. We've seen the Bulldogs come out and go, what worked at Cronulla?
We've beaten every team in the top 8 except Penrith, and we pushed them right to the limits, and the Broncos when we were going through a lull point.
Yeah, and we had the flu, the whole lot of us.
We've won 9 of our last 10 games. Like, get out of here.
This is a side to be proud of.
Speaking of proud, a big win, finally.
Big win.
And it was without a stack of players, and no one's talking about it.
They aren't. We've answered the question. We've joked for years, Terry, that Newtown could beat the Tigers. And they did, convincingly.
No Will Kennedy, no Sione Katoa, no Sifa Talakai, no Connor Tracy. I forgot about Connor Tracy.
Oh.
No Connor Tracy, no Matt Moylan. The man's a genius this year, Matt Moylan. No Fafita, no Tolman, no Jack Williams. Didn't need him. We had guys in our backline who were playing their third and second game.
Mm-hmm.
We had Jesse Colquhoun coming in.
Third go,
off the bench.
2.5 games. Yep.
Yeah, like Braden Trindle hasn't, played a lot of minutes this year in NRL and was very good.
First year halfback. This is just, and you want to talk about Cronulla having an easy run?
What I want to talk about in this game is the fact that Nicho Hines ran for more metres than the Tigers starting pack.
He's genius. Now, I saw some people in the groups, again, my mistake, saying that Nico's been below par the last few weeks. I have him man of the match 3 weeks in a row. It's not all about making breaks and setting up tries. The guy ran for over 200 metres. He kicked the Tigers into submission. He was setting up tries. He is so good at football, and he is just flying towards a Dally M medal.
And he makes it look so easy as well. The try assist he got for Lockie Miller, throws the dummy. He could have taken, could have thrown a cutout pass to Jesse Raymond. A perfect grubber.
Moses Mbai tried the same thing and kicked it halfway to Canberra. Cannot be done.
The try for Cade Dykes, he just goes down the short side. There was no space. He created space. The guy's got so much time. He's perfect.
Now, last week, Terry, now I'm, again, loath to big up myself or point out where I was right. I said Lockie Miller was a freak. He had the speed to create things. And I believe I said he would kick to Cade Dykes for his first try. It's on camera, you can check. It happened. What a kick it was too. And Dykesy falls over. And what happened after? You were telling me earlier?
Lockie Miller runs straight up to him, grabs him and shakes him and says, how good is it?
How good is it?
How good is it watching the Jets beat the Tigers
It's fantastic. We've been saying for weeks this was going to happen, and it did.
Now, we got some great performances from our props in Braden Hamlin-Uele, Royce Hunt, incredible tries.
What's got into Royce Hunt the last few weeks?
Hopefully it's a new contract.
Oh, he's getting a new contract.
He needs to be getting that new contract. He was brilliant. A try on your birthday as well. Promoted into the starting lineup. When I saw that, I was like, I thought it was time to put Braden back in there. Royce made me eat my words. Now we're going to start Royce and Braden Hamlin-Uele. Look out.
Oh,
that is huge. But to take away the positive of our two props, we have lost probably our most consistent forward this year, not named Dale Finucane.
Horrible stuff. Toby Rudolph, of course, we're referencing to the great man himself. Just beating all ends up in a tackle, a non-contact injury, you never want to hear those words.
Yeah.
We have...
the way that he did the splits, I thought he had done his groin.
He went down in pain. It was awful stuff. Now, of course, Toby had to do it in an entertaining way. The bloke's an entertainer. It's what he does. He hurt himself trying to make us smile, and we thank you, Toby. You have some inside information. Yeah,
look, as you said, only Toby could injure himself and make everyone just go, oh, that looks spectacular,
Great.
But, look, the big man himself's in good spirits, reached out to him. As always, he wrote back because, he's a huge fan of our show and the stuff that we do. And when he retires, obviously, he'll be sat here with us.
Rugby League Outlaws.
But he said that he'll be right in about 3 to 4 weeks.
Nice and fresh for the prelim final, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Toby, shout out, mate. That was, it's a shame. No one deserves that less. We are happy to hear that it was only an MCL, as bad as that sounds, rather than ACL, which, of course, he had done previously. So, good news from something bad. So it's
now, Dan, you and I during the week got early mail that Sifa Talakai was going to be ruled out with a shoulder injury, and we were hoping, begging, praying to the Lord that was Sir Fitz, Cale Iro would get his debut. Didn't get it, but Fitz again made the right call because Matt Cavalli was brilliant in the centres.
Cavalli let absolutely and precisely no one down. He was very, very good. I wanted Iro. I still do. I still would have gone that way, mainly because of the quality of opposition. He might snag a debut in the next few weeks.
I think he'll get it. I think Fitz for Fitz, it's all about locking in that top 4 spot. And although it's only the Tigers and they're a joke, you can't really go into the game with Lockie Miller as playing 3 games, Cade Dyke second, and another guy on debut.
That's fair.
And Matty Cavalu, we've said it, we brought him for this very reason. He's not going to play many games, but when he comes in, he won't let you down. 150 metres, a try, brilliant defensively. His work with Ronnie, and at the end of the game, we saw Ronnie in the centres.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I like what
Fitz
I saw.
got it right again.
Of course
And
he
this
did.
is why we're sitting here.
That's right.
And look, Dan, finally, the end of the Sharks Supercoach Cup.
Hotly contested.
Highly contested, came to a huge end. Now, Paul Warne, by everyone in the group chat, was a $1.10 favourite to beat Brett Sykes, the battler of the league.
And he talked it up like he was $1.01.
And
He lost.
Brett's come through.
Brett,
and
congratulations, mate. Your shirt's in the mail, I think.
It is. We will send him
definitely in the mail,
the 3 Faces of Fitz is on its way to you. And Paul...
Kerry,
Talk to me, Dan.
time for some top sport tips.
Oh, it's my favourite.
Last week, I believe
we got a perfect round
we did. Do you know why we got a perfect round?
because we're amazing tipsters.
We are amazing tipsters, but more specifically because I tipped the Titans. It happened. I told you last week I would celebrate, and it happened. It only took 10 weeks. Worth it. Worth every single loss.
Look, congratulations. You got us over the line again.
AJ Brimson.
We had complete and utter faith in you. Look, that's a lie. I'm not even going to do that. Dan, let's start. We've got a cracking week of footy ahead. Thursday night, the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
The informed South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Second best team in the comp at the moment, behind
Third
the
best.
mighty Sharks.
Played the Sharks twice, so you're right.
Yeah, correct. Those Sharks and Jets.
Yeah.
Taking on who could be minor premiers elect.
Could be. We've been saying it for weeks.
The Penrith Panthers now.
Penrith Panthers.
They'll get Dylan Edwards back. He was on the Matty John show tonight saying that he probably could have played against Melbourne.
Not worth the risk.
No, absolutely not worth the risk, especially when you've got that top 4 locked in. You know, he'll be back. Taylor May will be back as well. Geez, they missed his yardage.
Yeah, they did actually.
I mean, when you got Charlie Staines and someone else on the... You can't put 2 plumbers in there.
You can't. He's back on the tools, young Charlie. Big fan of the show. And obviously,
And the other bloke who they had on the wing, he was dreadful.
Yeah.
I don't know who he was, but
Don't matter.
Don't play him again. Look, I don't think it matters that Dylan Edwards is coming back. I think South Sydney, they want to get as close to the top 4 as they can, and you're also looking to avoid the Roosters. However, if they finish 5th, they're probably going to play the Roosters.
Jeez, what a week that'll be in the group.
I am going to tip South Sydney in this game, and I think they'll get it done quite convincingly as well. I think they'll just shoot out of the gates like they did against Parramatta.
Yeah. And look, they didn't even need Lockie Ilias this week. Look, South for mine. Latrell Mitchell is the form player of the competition. Cam Murray's not far behind him. I'll tell you what, Cody Walker, ever since you called him out, Terry, and maybe I did a little bit too, has been pure focus and pure legendary status.
And Ginger Tola, I mean, he's got to be a shout for one of the form props of the competition as well.
Yeah, look right up there.
Yeah, I think he's been absolutely incredible. Alex Johnson again. I told you this week, load up on him anytime try score. The money that AJ just makes me and you every week. Just keep rolling it and rolling it and rolling it.
Roll it in this week, you'll score again. Especially if you see a C Staines named in the win.
You better not. Friday afternoon up in Townsville.
Big game for us.
Big game for the Cowboys as well. Obviously, they're going to get to honour Paul Greene in front of their home fans this week against the New Zealand Warriors. And look, taking nothing away from the Warriors here, but I think this is just going to be so emotional for the Cowboys. They're going to run riot.
Yeah, I can't see anything but a big Cowboys victory here, and I mean, good on them. It's.
I think the shock and emotion came out against the Roosters, and now the pride and the passion have come out against the Warriors.
It does.
They're going to flog them.
And to be fair, the Roosters are ridiculously in form at the moment. The Warriors coming off a good win. Not many saw coming, myself included, but no, just no.
Friday night, we have an absolute belter staying in Queensland. The Brisbane Broncos up against the Melbourne Storm. This is going to be a brilliant game. The Broncos bounce back. The Storm have bounced back.
Yeah, look, the Broncos did bounce back, but not all that well against fairly dire opposition. And for a long time there, it looked like Newcastle were coming back.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on Brisbane.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Brisbane either. Look, there's still some injuries to the Storm, but I think they'll have enough in them just to do this. Look, Brisbane looked like a whole new team with Tamari Martin at fullback.
Certainly did.
Yeah.
He made the world of difference. Breaks galore, try assists. I wish, Terry, that Katoni Staggs would play to his potential. He was horrible for the first 40 minutes this week, then came good in the second half, only after I bag him. I don't want to be out there having to bag you every week, Tony. Again,
But we will.
fan. I will. I will do this.
We will do it.
Reach your potential, mate. You are a superstar. Realise it, please. Just not against us.
Yeah, I mean, that combination of him and Selwyn Cobbo could be so good.
Yes, it could. Whoa. And it might be this week, but for me, Melbourne.
Start of your Super Saturday. Now, this is going to be a cracking game. Last time they played each other, the Bulldogs ambushed the Parramatta Eels.
Ooh.
Are the Eels going to get some revenge? It's an Eels home game against the Dogs. I think they'll just get over the line.
Yeah, I think they'll win. I don't think it'll be anything like what we saw in reverse coming up. So, no, they won't get their revenge because that'll hurt. They'll win, though.
Yeah, I think they'll beat them. Look, no Mitch Moses probably brings it down a little bit. The Bulldogs were embarrassed in New Zealand, so they're going to have a bit to play for as well.
They were bad.
They were really bad, yeah.
Didn't see that coming. I thought they were going to put the cleaners through.
Well, I saw it coming because we tipped a perfect round, so...
Look, we did.
5:30 on Saturday afternoon, the Manly Seagulls are up against the Cronulla Sharks at 4 Pine Stadium. Manly season is officially over. It's done and dusted. They don't look like they want any smoke with anyone at the moment. But the hoodoo, Dan, the hoodoo, and I'm not talking about the Manly hoodoo, I'm talking about the jinx.
Yep.
It's there. I'm tipping Manly.
Good. I'm tipping Cronulla because we're on a roll, but...
If we lose this Manly team, dead set.
This is the best chance we've had in a decade to beat Manly at Brookvale. Now, we have beaten Manly the last couple of years. Never at Brookvale Oval. 2008, I believe, is the last time.
Round 1, 2008.
Someone said that we've beaten them 3 times in the history of Brookvale. That cannot be true.
Let's make it 4.
Let's make it... 4's heaps better.
Manly. And finishing off your Super Saturday with a not-so-super game, the Sydney Roosters up against the West Tigers. This is just going to be a 4 and against stat padding here for the Roosters.
Oh, if you're the Tigers and you're thinking, okay, we got to win. We got to
get off the bottom of the
Who we
line.
got this week? The Roosters.
The Roosters have one of the scariest front row combinations in Jamal Warrior-Hargreaves and Matt Lodge, and they're about to get Torquiaho back.
Yeah, this team is...
They're a smoky.
They are a smoky.
And they're 8th.
Yeah, you said last week that one team can win it from outside the 8 and they're the one. Oh, I tell you what, they'll be winning this week. Tigers fans, do not bother. If you have tickets, do not show up.
Don't worry about if they're going to beat the Tigers. Here's the real question for you, Dan. Can they beat the clock?
I was going to say, are they going to beat the clock? No, the clock will just edge them. Just.
Yeah, it'll probably be like 66 to 80. So get on the Roosters with a 15.5 start against the clock. Sunday afternoon, the St George Illawarra Dragons are taking on the Gold Coast Titans.
Big game.
This
huge
is a huge game. Down in Wollongong, I believe.
Who cares?
Who cares where it is, yeah. Look, for mine, I think the Dragons, their season's done and dusted, but they're not bad enough to lose to the Titans.
Incorrect.
You're going with the Titans? You're sticking with them?
Of course I'm going with the Titans.
Well, I mean, a Titans win puts the Knights closer to the spoon. I am going to stick with the Dragons. Ben Hunt has just got too much in him. He's got to fight for that Dally M still.
He kicked 40-20. He kicked
20-40.
He should have had an opportunity to win the game or tie the game late on, whatever. He is going to be relegated to watching his team get beaten by the mighty, mighty Titans. Maybe.
Dragons.
Titans.
And to finish off your Sunday afternoon, God, this is a bad Sunday. The Knights against the Raiders. I think I'm going to skip
What's the
Sunday.
opposite of super?
Yeah. Tigers.
It's a Tigers Sunday.
Oh, man, the Knights and Raiders up there in Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle have won at home for a long time. And for a team that gets behind them, they really don't care about their fans. They're going to lose again.
Yeah, Canberra will win this. This is a dream fixture for Canberra, who need to win and win big, and they will do just that.
Yeah, look, for the Raiders now, it's not about winning. Like, they've got to chip away that for and against, but they've just got to get the win first. And, I mean, if they don't beat the Knights, they don't deserve to be in the finals, but I think they're going to thump them.
Yeah, they will. This will be the blowout of the week if the Roosters-Tigers isn't. What a Tigers fixture.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by Puncture Media, our good friends at Top Sport, onelittlefootyfan.com.au and the Stubby Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Buy some shirts.
They're going out.
They are actually, yeah.
Yeah,
The hoodies are fine.
We're about to sell out of them. We're about to sell out of the hats. Don't forget, give your mum the FU from Dan. And Dan.
Bring Jimmy. I hate that ad.
Rugby League,
Rugby League, baby.